So we're here to talk about my song. It's a new release. It's called Let's Get Personal. Moving down, the streets are so cold, trying to find a perfect smiling face, but no. These pretty girls walking there with the fancy coats. Hey everyone, I'm Dwayne Gamree. I am a Mumbai-based musician. I'm a composer, lyricist, songwriter in short. And I've just released my new single. It's called Let's Get Personal. Just to give you, we're going to talk about how I came about this song and what was my thought process behind the whole lyrics and the composition of it. So this obviously came during the time when we all were locked down. We had things to do. So what better use? I put my skills to, so I went ahead, started thinking about things around me, my personal life, friends, situations, random strangers. And most of my songs are a little bit of my personal life that I do talk about and I do share. But at times I get too critical of myself, so that's when I add in other people as well, just to fizzle it out a little bit so I don't feel so bad about myself. So that's what this song is about. It's called Let's Get Personal, like I said. Basically, the song tells us that we as human beings, we are getting quite dependent on our technology, technological devices. And at times it takes away the essence from actually spending time with the people who are near you. And this is where the blame comes on me as well, because we are in a day and age wherein Instagram, Facebook and YouTube is the way for an artist or anybody who's creating content to sort of get out there and get ourselves exposed to. But it's really important as human beings to understand that we need to set aside and treat this as a 9 to 5, especially to all my content creators out there. Being glued onto the screen, scrolling on for hours on end, we can end up missing on those little beautiful somethings that we can have with our family, with our friends. So I'm to blame, and that's why I put it in the song. But I gave it a little spin of a relationship, a touch of relationship in there, just to make myself feel a little better. In terms of the composition, I'm a guitarist, so my go-to instrument is my guitar, and the one that I've been using for the past 12 years now, so it's doing me good. I came about dabbling a couple of chord progressions with the song there, a couple of thoughts in my mind with the groove and the bass line, and that's my limitation. So it's still the guitar and how many chords I can put in there. That's when I did call up on my friends to help me out, and these boys are just amazing because I've been working with them for years now, and they are really super helpful. Some of them I've known since we've been toddlers. So firstly, Kamran Raza helped me out with the bass, and he did a slamming job. My brief to all of them was vibe with the song, let me know what you think about it, and go ahead into the studio and let's get it recorded. And they just got on. Everybody was on the same wavelength. We did an amazing job together. So Kamran did the bass, Ralkis was on the electric, Ralkis Agoya was on the electric guitar. Bandra Boy, really jovial fellow, and always wanting some form of feedback. He's an amazing guitarist, but he just is really critical of himself, just like me when it comes to writing my music. So amazing there, complete sweetheart, Ralkis. Adil Manuel was somebody who I approached to the initial stages of the song, because I think this song needed a really gritty electric lead section running in the background, playing a couple of fills in there. And Adil is a hardcore blues guy. He does amazing jazz work as well. He's got his own setup. So Adil Manuel went ahead, heard the song, literally brought it to life with his distortion patches and his other pads that he did end up playing out there. So I ended up utilizing quite a lot of that in the song. Followed with Morris Teixeira, who was on the keys. He also helped me out with arranging a couple of the string sections in there, so you'll hear it a little bit coming in towards the end of the song. There was also an organ patch that was being played in there. With Morris, how I went about is I had this idea of what the strings needed to sound like, and I went ahead, got onto Logic, and I individually voiced out, okay, this is what I want the cello to sound like, this is what I want the viola to sound like, this is what I want the violins to sound like in my falsetto voice. And I sort of recorded it and I created layers and I sent it across to him. From there he took cues and he took whatever I made and he played it out really wonderfully well. A shout out to Arco, who was my first choice when it came to playing the drum kit. Arco Ganguly, unfortunately, because of the COVID situation, he had to head back home, and we weren't able to do much. But he did a slamming job on just creating, a MIDI patch for layers. So we have ended up using that as a reference point. And my childhood friend Linford D'Souza came in and he played the drums live at Joshua Inc. That's at Andheri. Thanks, shout out to Joshua also for the studio. Setup is right over there. The drums are, everything is there. The microphone, everything is there. All Linford had to come and do was, do a couple of takes. And I think we did about 8 takes with the drum kit. And then we, sort of went ahead with the final piece. So Linford also was given the brief of, dude, see what you feel, vibe to the song, think about the lyrics, and although you're using Arco's MIDI track as a reference, I want it to sound like you're playing the song. That's what I told him, because he has a really nice style, he has a really nice touch on the kit, and I told him, just let it sound like, okay, Linford has played the drums in this track. So I kept it very open-ended to everybody, so that I could also use their input, because I know where I lack in terms of being a musician, and I know where I can depend on my friends for covering up for that lack thereof. So it's awesome to work with friends who you can really depend on, especially when it comes to putting something that's so close to you. It's like a baby, it's your baby. You need your friends, you need your family, you need a village practically to kind of raise a child, right? That's what they say. So the same thing here, these boys came together, really helped me out with putting everything together. And finally, Adriel George, I got in touch with, and he's helping me out with the production of the song. He helped me out with the production, he's helping me out with my future tracks as well. I think what ended up happening is I've been waiting out for a couple of years to put my songs out, because like I said, I am critical of myself, but I'm also waiting for the right time. I think with music, it's really important not to rush the process. You need to mature in your mind in a certain way till you think your song is ready to go out. I'm a little bit on borderline of procrastination, but that's when my family stepped in and told me, just get your music out there, it's high time that you do something. So shout out to my family as well, my wife Tulip, thank you very much for pushing me to get the ball rolling back again once this whole lockdown issue has sort of fizzled off, kind of. Adriel, we sat very receptive to any kind of feedback that I would give him. In terms of, I think the guitar patch over here could go down a little bit, or the harmony sections out here could be bumped up a little more. And he also took a really, really good amount of time to explain to me why he is doing what he is doing. Because as an artist and as a solo performer, I've always heard myself perform live, and I've heard myself on stage alone. But the dynamics that you require when you have other instruments added in on stage, that's one aspect of understanding sound. But when it comes to having the same thing done in a studio setting, you need somebody who's developed their ears, they've developed their skill in kind of understanding the dynamics, the frequency of the sound, how it has to travel, how wide is it going to spread if you're listening to it on stereo or on mono for that matter. You know, how much of sizzle do you need to add to the drums, how much of reverb you need to add to your vocals. So that plays a massive amount of role to make it sound so pretty and beautiful when you hear it on Spotify, on YouTube, on on any other platform that you, even iTunes, Apple, right? So you need to depend on people in their expertise, and that's what I did with Adriel. I gave him my mind was an open book when it came to him recording and him patching up and EQing all of the sounds and mastering the track. So Adriel, thank you so much. It was slamming job. The song sounds great, and this was everybody who kind of helped me out with the song. So yeah, once again, Kamran Raza on bass, I had Linford D'Souza on drums, Rakesh Aguirre on the lead and electric guitar, along with Adil Manuel, who put out some lovely slayed out solos in there, Morris Teixeira on the keys, Arco helping me out for the initial MIDI patch of the drum kit, and I did do a little bit of the rhythm guitars in the track as well, along with my lyrics in there. So yeah, that was the whole process, that was the whole song. Hopefully you get an opportunity to hear it. If you haven't yet, please go ahead. It's on all streaming platforms across. You have your YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want to, Amazon Music, wherever you want to hear it, you can hear it out there. It's called Let's Get Personal, and my name is Dwayne Gamree. Okay, so this is a little bit of my track Let's Get Personal. It's an acoustic version, but you can definitely check it out on all streaming platforms. Here we go. Moving down, the streets are so cold, trying to find a perfect smiling face, but no. These pretty girls walking there with the fancy coats, perfect hair, I'm looking out for someone to talk to, but as I walk through, all I see is people staring at their phones, not living life as they go, swiping right, swiping left, trying to work out that love connect. I'm looking for just one like, a comment, share, please subscribe, but baby, I so let that go. Let's get personal. Ooh, let's get personal. Like the lyrics goes, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much. Radio City.